Hello, hello. This might be a weird episode today, guys, but I am gonna have a drink. I haven't had a drink in a really long time. Deep Eddy, Ruby Red, grapefruit vodka. This is from my girl Tania. She sent it to me distilled in Texas, and I'm drinking it in my very effed up cup. This is what happens when you put these cups in the dishwasher, even though it tells you not to. And then I'm just gonna mix this with some grapefruit sparkling water, and I'm gonna try and keep it cold in my koozie from Z. All the love from my friends today. Oh, I should have brought something in here to stir. Oh, dangerous. Dangerous. Grab your drink and let's get started. Hey guys, Chevyrell here, Chevis for those of you who don't know my given name. We are in the stuff room. I talk about knitting and fibery things, and it's been a minute since I've been here, and this is gonna be weird. I've wanted to record for a while and just haven't had it in me to do so. My dad passed away on June 1st, and it pretty much rocked me. You can fast forward. There will be timestamps if you don't care about this stuff. It's not going to be a Debbie Downer episode. That is not what I want it to be, but I do feel like I want to talk a little bit about mental health and grief, just because I don't feel like we talk about it enough. And you guys see a certain Chevis on the video, right? And that's not to say that it's not fake at all. Like, what you see is what you get. I am very much me. But there are things that you don't see when we are talking about fiber on the podcast, or when we see each other in person. I'm usually in a super freaking good mood. I'm all excited to, do my thing with my people, but I want you guys to know it's not all, puppy dogs and rainbows all the time. I have struggled with depression and anxiety for a long time. Depression started in high school, and anxiety started probably in my 30s, and it's just something that I have to deal with. I talk to someone, I take my little help me pills, and I very much take care of my mental health the same way someone with diabetes or heart disease would. That being said, Dad passing away sent me into a depression that I have not been in since my 20s. And I'm just now kind of coming out of it, but I needed that time. Obviously, it's still there. He'd been sick for a bit. He had heart stuff. Some of you may know him from being on the podcast. He's drawn winners for me in a few episodes. Obviously, I was close with him. I'm close with all of my family. And Mama Jean, obviously, for those of you who know Mama Jean. Some of you already knew that this happened because I did post it on Instagram. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for all of your kind words. I did pass that on to Mama Jean and my brother as well. So it's just sort of been a weird time. When I said I hadn't had a drink in a while, those of you who are OGs, first off, if this is your first episode, weird episode to start on, just saying that. We always start our episodes here with a cocktail. I am a lover of cocktails and a good craft beer, sometimes even a NASCAR beer. But I am very much a social drinker, and I do not drink when I'm sad. So it has been a very long time since I've caught a buzz from drinking. I did have margaritas. We went to my dad's favorite Mexican restaurant out to dinner as a famly. Loma Linda's in, I think it's a Swanton, Ohio address, but it's kind of like Sylvania, Toledo-ish area. It's one of those restaurants that people come from all over to go to. It's super nostalgic. It's been there forever. Their margaritas are the bomb. I did have a couple of those. I've had a beer here and there, but I just haven't felt like it. So all of that to say, I apologize. I've been gone for a little bit, but I needed to be, and it may take me some time to just get back into the swing of things. I have good days and bad days. I know that a lot of you have already lost parents. This is the first person close to me other than, like tragic friend deaths that I've lost. And, you only have one dad. So it's just like this weird mental new thing that I've never experienced before. And everybody grieves differently. Obviously, I work in a funeral home, so, I was prepared for it, but only as much as you can be, right? Like I said, I'm not gonna continue to be a Debbie Downer, but I wanted to tell you guys kind of where I've been and what's been happening. And to be honest, I did not knit for a long time. I did the bare minimum I needed to do to get by. I am someone in my depression that I still function on all the things that I have to do. So like I showered, I did my laundry, I vacuumed, I did dishes, like all those kind of things. I went to work, all those types of things. I did, but basically any extras, I did not want to people at all. There are still days that I don't want to people. There are a lot of days where all I want to do is stare at the television and do nothing. So there was a lot of that time that I did not get any knitting fibery stuff done at all. Now, I do have things to show and I have gotten things done, but had it been a normal time period, I would have gotten a lot more. Oh, and Dad passed away early Thursday morning of the weekend of the Hoosier Hills Fiber Festival. So we did not go. However, my outlook on the universe and that everything happens for a reason. We were going to be there Thursday through Sunday, and we were camping. So what happened is we just took the camper home, and I was able to have 4 days at home with my family, which, ended up being pretty cool in the scheduling department. So, okay, now, thank you so much for listening. For those of you who didn't skip ahead, I hope that you guys are having a good summer. Mine obviously has not been, but there are some things coming up that I'll talk about at the end. And let's get into the fiber stuff, shall we? Cheers. I only have one FO done, and it was my spinning. This is, and I've lost the tag, but this is the first skein. I am thinking about, I was thinking about a while back entering this in the Michigan Fiber Festival as a single hand spun. Because I've never been judged on that before, and I don't even know like how you would judge it. This one is also from Gwen, Erin, but I can't find the tag for it. Does this have a colorway? It doesn't have a colorway name, but they were both the same. This is South American wool, and 80% South American wool and 20% viscose neps. I'm guessing this is the same exact thing. It is a single, so it spins on itself a little bit. I don't think there's really any way to get around that. And it is overspun. I have washed and thwacked it. It is overspun in some areas. I don't know if I should enter both of them, but that is my only FO. So then what comes next? Whips. This is in my bucket from Just Me Gramma. There's her tag. I love it so much. This sits beside me on the couch, but well, when I'm on the couch, it's beside me on the stand, right? So I finished the back, and then this is my ice-dyed bag from Carrie, Creative Obsession. If you don't watch her, she'll be linked. She's awesome and I love her. She also quilts, for those of you who are into doing that. I finished the back. It is very large. Oh wait, this is the Yarmalada. I'm serious, you guys. I'm like brain dead. I really am. It's like I'm walking around in a fog still. This is my Yarmalada, and this is yarn from Lambstrings. It was my Halloween Advent from last year, or Spooky Advent, I think she calls it. The Yarmalada is by Krissi Abbott, and it's a $10 pattern. The only thing that I have altered is I believe her original pattern calls for 24 inches, and I just did, see, here's all my, those are all my little minis, the other halves of them. I just did, sorry, I know that's super annoying when people move the camera. This drink tastes so good, you guys, it tastes so good. I did CEUs all day today. Social Security and critical care and disability, it sucked. So I think that might be why this drink tastes so good. Anyway, I finished the back. Look at it. This is going to be more like a kimono, I think. So it'll be like that, right? The back. And then there's two front pieces that are just rectangles. There's a little bit of increase, but not much. See my little teacup right here? That's the last time you guys saw it. Oh, I cannot wait for it to be done. I talked about this before. What I did is I split the minis. Hold on, I'll show you. So this is what I have. I split the minis in half. They were 20 gram minis, split them in half, used one, wound the other. So these are 10 grams. And then what I did is the leftovers, I put in a little pole ball and just safety pinned to this so that if I ran out of yarn on the sides, which has happened more than once, you can tell where it's happened because I've had to steal those where I was short. So that's why I kept them on there like that, so that I could go back and steal them if I needed to. So it's come in very handy to do that. And what I do is I just keep it, you saw kind of how it was rolled up there. So I keep it rolled up with all of them like this, and I keep it in my bucket, and then it's real easy to get to if I need to use any of those ends. So I'm working on the two sides, the two fronts at the same time. No matter how I do this, it would be wonky. I'm this far on the sides, and they're separate. It's like little curtains. I do not travel with this. I only knit on this on the couch because the yarn management is a big deal. It is very potato chippy because this is like the little chart that I made, and I just make little tallies as far as where to change my colors. I don't know if that's giving anything away pattern-wise. I don't think it is. Because I'm a visual, the pattern did not have this. I needed to see it. So yes, I am the weirdo that made this in Excel, and it has come in so handy. Because the yarn management's so wonky, I made these little these little ball socks, yarn condoms. They're ball socks, they're not condom, right? Well, no, they're probably more condoms than what I call yarn condoms, but you know what I mean. I put the little mini in there. I need another one. They're all in order, so I just pull them off in order, and I pull from the outside and the inside, so I just kind of start it, and then I just put it in the sock. And then I have this instead of the big mess, and I have a method. It took me a minute to get into the groove, but now I have a method and it's working great. It's working great. Very potato chippy. You know how people who knit self-striping a lot, or like, I just want to get to the next stripe. I just want to get to the next stripe. I do not have that with self-striping yarn, but I do have it with this. My next whip is my Ripple Bralette, which this is something that would have been done had I not been struggling this month. I am on the straps. So here it is. This is Pretty Twisted yarn, which I think that I will have enough for a whole other pair of socks, which I'm excited about. But this is Pretty Twisted yarn in her, crap, I don't remember. I did this the last time too. Look at that, you guys. That was just like the first thing that came up when I was looking for this colorway name. Did you guys know I used to have a pet hedgehog named Mortimer? I'm sure I've mentioned that before. He was my first Christmas present from Dan. I would tie-dye for you. And that's what they look like in socks. I'm really excited about it. I was hoping to get some color, that flashing on this, but obviously that did not happen. Still super cool though. Love it. It is very stretchy. She says in the directions that it will look very small, but then it'll stretch out. That's, next time you see this, it should be done. And again, that was the Ripple Bralette by Jessie Maed, and it is a $9 pattern. Oh, I also, hold on just a minute. I talked about this the last time, so I thought I'd show you. It's nothing, but it's in my Hank yarn. That's Cincinnati. This is that framework, also by Jessie Maed. I cut the straps off. I showed this on the last podcast. I had used non-superwash wool for the straps and they shrunk and I couldn't wear this. So I cut the straps off and I have started, these are just scraps and I don't even know if that'll like make both straps, but yeah, I started it. So I'm probably going to get 2 bralettes at about the same time. My next whip is in my chip bag. Isn't it cute? And then I have my yarn in a yarn condom that was gifted to me. And the yarn is also Pretty Twisted yarn. And I don't know the name of this colorway either. I suck, you guys. These were my Pride socks. I obviously did not get them done. They are Kole's socks, so they're even like little people socks, and I still didn't get them done. Well, this is self-striping, and I'm digging, and I'm not finding it. She does have right now, though, she calls it Grainbow, which is pretty cool. Same idea, but the rainbow would not be self-striping. It would probably flash. I bet that knits up awesome. Does she show it? I mean, look at that. She even has it on sparkle. There, it's knit up. That looks so cool. Anyway, same idea, but this is self-striping. Isn't it cute? I am doing, first time ever, the Magic Heel by the Autumn Acorn. It's a $4 pattern. Thank you, Maddie from We Share Needles. I knew that she did this heel a whole bunch, and I asked her about changing it because the pattern is only for adult sizes, and she kind of told me how she did it for kids, and that's what I did. It is 54 stitches, I think I cast on for him, and then I think this is 40 and 30. I don't remember. I have the numbers written down if anyone else cares, but I have one finished, and then I am just starting the foot on this one. Like, I mean, I haven't even. My next row is starting the foot. So I just have that much more to go. So these will probably be finished the next time you see them as well. Kole is 4, he's my nephew, and his favorite color is rainbow. Another thing that I did today, I got so much done while I was doing CEUs. It's nice because the CEUs, for those of you who don't know what that is, continuing education. I sell pre-need insurance, which it's not really insurance, it's an irrevocable trust. I don't know why I have to have an insurance license. It's so weird to me. But I sell pre-arrangements at the funeral home, and in order to do that in the state of Indiana, you have to be a licensed insurance agent. So I need to do continuing education classes, and it's a live video. There's like an instructor. It's like you're in class, but you know, the whole Zoom thing, but it's not Zoom. So I can do things while I'm listening. So I got tons of stuff done today while I was learning about critical care and disability insurance and Social Security. I cut out my dress, my wool fork dress, for me in the right size. For those of you haven't watched the previous episodes, I made this dress. I cut out the wrong size. I was all pissed off about it. And I finally cut out the new dress. So it's all ready to go whenever I want to sit down and sew it. So that's sort of a whip. So then this whip, this next whip, is the Shapla. The hell does that mean? That's a typo. Oh no, that's right. Shapla Bill Throw, B-I-L. It's right there. And this is by Sadika Sobhan. I might be butchering her name or their name. It is a free pattern. My boss's daughter is expecting a baby. She's like this super cool hippie chick, and I wanted to make her a baby blanket. I don't know how big I'm going to make it. That looks huge. It is not huge. Like that it's not a big blanket. So I am this far on it. To be honest with you, crocheting this did kind of, is that backwards? No, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Kind of got me my mojo back, to be honest. It made my brain work in just the right way that kind of got me back into it. Now, there are things with this. I'm not totally in love with my colors, but I just went stash diving for all acrylics. Well, this isn't acrylic. Acrylic superwash, because obviously it's a baby blanket, and like if they spit up or whatever, they want to wash it. Yes, I know that you're not supposed to give babies like things with holes in them because they can get stuck or whatever. But I'm thinking like it'll be something that she can throw over her, like when you're going from the car to the house, or maybe even like lay her on the floor and get a cute picture with it. I mean, I'm not expecting her to use this to sleep or anything. The colors have been a challenge because I'm just sort of picking them as I'm going. Then these little things, I cut like, these are so annoying. Let me see one that's stuck. Here's one that's good and didn't come undone. You add them by themselves and the directions say to knot them. Well, the knots don't work. So I'm going to redo them and weave in the ends. But that's how far I am on it. I'm using my Katydid bucket bag, and I just kind of pull stuff as I go. In a perfect world, I'll have given this to her by the next time you see it, by the next time I record. So I hope I'll get a picture or whatever. And then my last whip is in my bee bag. And this was, I do this every time. I suck at this, guys, sorry. I purchased this bag at Rhinebeck from an adorable little girl. I don't know that they sell online, but there you have it. This is my cal. We're having a cal right now for your deep stash. And the reason that I started this is because I have even so skeins that I purchased for specific patterns forever ago, and I just never picked them up. So I thought I can't be the only one that does that. So I picked my deepest stash. So the yarn that I purchased for a specific pattern that was the oldest in my stash, that's what I picked. And we are having a knit along. Crochet is welcome. I keep forgetting to say that. Yes, most definitely, crochet is welcome. Hindsight, I should have called it a mal and not a cal. I don't know what I was, well, I wasn't thinking. That's why I wasn't thinking. You're welcome to jump in. Whips are welcome. You don't have to finish. It is an Instagram entry, and the hashtag is DSCal23. That stands for Deep Stash Cal 23. All you have to do is post pictures. I'll draw a few prizes. It's basically just an excuse to pick that thing that always gets passed over for something else in your stash. And mine was the Across the Pond shawl by Knitting Expat. It looks like this. And it is a $6.48 pattern. I am using Honey Girl yarn. Oh, hey, look what I found. I can put that on that skein of yarn. She doesn't have colorway names on. It's just codes. I don't know if I finished that thought earlier. I am knitting with Honey Girl Farms, and they look like that. They are in a Lila Styles yarn condom and a Knitting Notions yarn condom that says, holy shitballs. The reason that this is so fitting is because this color is a ball with the Goblin King. And then the gold color is Gold Dust. It's blowing out those speckle. Well, I don't know. Are they speckles? I don't know if they're speckles or color blips. I don't know. Here again, I should have way more done on this, but it just, you know. And I can't remember. I don't know that I don't think I had this cast on last time you saw it. But I have the, oh yes I did, because you couldn't see the, I don't know where this was the last time you saw it, but here's where it is now. Because it was blowing out the color, I remember. And, whoops, this is, oh, I already said $6.48 pattern, but it has those little like butterfly gathers, and they're so much, they're fun to do. It gives it kind of that quilty, beehivey look, which is sort of interesting because I'm using Honey Girl Farms and it's in the bee bag. And so it all kind of, I did not do that on purpose, I promise. I mean, look, Honey Girl even has a little, here's her logo. It has a little beehive, isn't it cute? The universe, man, the universe works. So post your pictures of what you're knitting with a hashtag, and I'm going to draw for that at a later date. It'll just be like an ongoing thing until it's not anymore. And that is all my knitting. Next up is Happy Mail, and I have a couple things. My Uncle Rod went down to Florida. My grandparents lived in Florida my whole life, and my Uncle Tim still lives down there. I've talked about Uncle Tim before, but Uncle Rod went down and picked some things up because my grandparents have passed away some years ago now, and they're looking at selling the house. So, it's like, here's stuff. And my Uncle Tim put a bunch of stuff in a box. And it's like, Chevis. I think Chevis will like these things. And I thought I'd show you a few of them. I got an entire bag of doily things. Now, I have no idea who made these. And I have no idea what I'm going to do with them. They are pretty cool. I'll do something with them. I mean, look, there's a whole bunch of these. I've seen where people stretch them like on embroidery hoops and things like that. I just haven't, mentally been in a spot where I want to go there. But I will definitely be keeping them and figuring out something cool to do with them. These things aren't fiber related, but I don't know. I just thought that I would share. This was addressed to my Uncle Tim, and it is my birth announcement. And look at it. Hello, 1980. Dan's home. I was one of those babies that was born with hair. 27 hours my mom was in labor. They don't let you do that anymore. And the only reason that was fun is because I've never seen that before. I've had no idea what that looked like. So I know nothing about vintage fashion. These shoes were my grandma's, and I guess she wore them often. I mean, look how little her feet were. She was a size 5. I want to say she was 5 foot maybe. I did not know that they had this like jelly stuff back then. I mean, this was probably the 50s, right? I asked my Uncle Tim and now I don't remember what he said. Morning hair, don't care. I did a Google search on those shoes and they call them lucite party shoes. Apparently they were a thing. And Grandma was 5'2". Okay, now for the fibery stuff, or at least the crafty stuff. My Uncle Tim had a friend that lived in Peru, went to Peru, and gave these to my Uncle Tim. These are woven straps from Peru, and they are long, and I have 4 of them. Don't know what to do with them. I will just keep them until something strikes my fancy. I thought about like sewing them together maybe, or stitching them together and doing something, or like making a wall hanging. I don't know. They'll let me know when they let me know. But I thought that was really cool, like hand woven in Peru. And then this is my favorite. This is my favorite. So my Uncle Tim's neighbor owned a yarn shop in Fort Myers years ago now, I believe. There was a lizard that someone ran over and flattened, and she photocopied it and made a cross-stitch pattern out of it and sold it in her shop, and my uncle made it. I love it so much. It's cross stitch. And I said it was like 94. I said, "You made this? Those are your initials." And he was like, "It's the one and only time I've ever cross stitched anything, and I'll never do it again." But the story was so funny that, I just love it. That was a dead lizard on the road that had gotten smashed just perfect, and she made a cross stitch out of it. So I had to share that. This will obviously live in the stuff room. Come on. Okay, and then Kim sent me a nice card and a couple stickers for I should put one on this since it's falling apart. And then this is hilarious. Ringmaster to the shit show. That's right. Thank you, Kim. My friend Jolene and her husband Tony, for you OGs, back when I first started podcasting, which I think I've been doing this like 5 years now. Have I done it for 5 years? One of my first giveaways, I had people post pictures of their like favorite heirlooms. Was it their favorite? Like a cool heirloom that because that's what this stuff room is. A lot of this is sentimental family things that I've had forever, that have been in my family forever. And I just love that. And I love hearing everyone's stories. So I had people share, and then I drew the winner. And my now friend Jolene, I did not know her back then, but now we've struck up a friendship, and Tony, her husband. Tony is Pomo Indian, and the thing that she shared back then, the Pomo tribe is known for basket weaving, and they have a basket from his great, I want to say it's 2 greats, grandma, that she wove. It was so cool. Like, it was so freaking cool to think that they had this basket that was, that old and hand woven by his great grandma. And I just loved it. So anyway, they have started a non-for-profit where they adopt a Navy crew and knit wool hats for them. And she sent me the stuff. It's Nautilus 1954 wool hats for submariners. Look at that. Isn't it cute? She sent this to me to share with my local yarn store, but I obviously wanted to share it with you guys too. So there's the card, and then there is the contact information. So if you guys have an LYS that you think would be interested in this, I will obviously link them below so that you can get a hold of them. But I do know that people do a certain amount of charity knitting every year or something like that. So if this is something that, we can pass on and get wool hats to sell, how cool would it be to have your hats, to have a hat you knit on a Navy dude in a submarine, or chick, a Navy person in a submarine? Like, how freaking cool is that? If you want to share that with your local yarn shop, there's the info. So it looks like they have an Instagram and a Facebook, as well as an email. They are just super cool people and are doing super cool stuff. So, I've said it multiple times. The friends that I've made, the people I've met doing this podcast is far beyond anything I ever thought would happen. I mean, I just thought I'd get on here and, talk to my mom and someone else that maybe finds it. And it's just, my mom doesn't even watch. That's the funny part. I thought I'd be talking to my mom. She doesn't even watch it. I'm out of drink, and I think I'm going to make another one, even though we're almost done, but stand by. Okay, I think this might be my last one from Tania, Western Sun Lemon. I don't know how well lemon is going to go with grapefruit, but why can't I get that Jiminy Christmas? I don't know how well lemon's gonna go with grapefruit, but I mean, they're both fruits, right? I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I do feel better talking to you guys. You guys always put me in a good mood. I mean, talking fiber, even though you're not in the room with me, I can feel your presence. For those of you who watch Tammy, Cinematic Skeins, she is on a spinning kick, hardcore spinning kick. And she has an Ashford Joy wheel for sale. If you guys are in the market for a spinning wheel, the Ashford Joy is, I'm pointing over here like you can see it. I'll just show it to you. Watch me talk about this and she's already sold it. This is an Ashford Joy. It's a traveling wheel, so this goes up flat. So if you want to take it with you, I made these foot things. She has one for sale. Anyway, she has been all about the spinning and all about the fiber, and she's joined some fiber clubs and things that sent her some stuff that she like isn't interested in, and she asked me if I would use them. I know that there are some locks in here. I've had this for a long time and not opened it, mainly because I knew that I wasn't going to be spinning it right away. I thought it'd be fun for us to open this together. So I knew I was getting the locks, but then Tammy, you know, everything's big in Texas, right? And Tammy's living in Texas right now. She's not from Texas, but she's living in Texas. That everything's bigger in Texas thing must have rubbed off. That lemon vodka is very flavor forward. I feel like it needs a little sweetener. It's good. Anyway, I knew that she was sending me locks, and then she sent me other fiber as well. So this is a surprise. It looks like there's some Icelandic fiber, and she thought it felt scratchy, but it might not be scratchy for me. Okay, so here's the fiber locks. This is from Paradise Fibers Fiber of the Month Club, if anyone wants some fiber. And there's the locks. I do art spin. Do I have any here? Okay, this is hand spun, but I did not spin it. It's the only thing I can find with locks. But you can art spin with locks. See this guy? Look. Oh, it's super fun. So that is what I will do with this, or what I would do with this, what I will do someday. I love the colors. I just had an idea. We are going to the Dayton Ren Fair. I mentioned that the last time with some friends in, I think it's October. I might spin something to go with my outfit. We're doing like the whole, like the wood fairy thing, because they have theme weekends at Ren Fairs, and it's the fantasy weekend theme. I have plans. You'll probably see it. You'll see pictures when that day comes. But I might make something with this, because I'm thinking those are very like wood fairy colors. Yeah? Perfect. Okay, and the rest of this I have no idea. What is this? I don't know what this is. Oh, they're neps! What? I've never... Weird! And I have the perfect fiber to put them in. And I have a blending board. Is that, I mean, I'm thinking that's how, because I don't have a drum carder. So I'm thinking that a blending board, those are freaking neps, you guys. I've never spun with net. Like, I've spun neps, obviously, but the neps have always already been in the fiber. I've never put my own neps in the fiber. That's fun. Okay, all right. Oh, here's some more locks. They're so good. Those are so good. And then Solar Flare 23 micron merino rainbow firestar nylon. Hold on. Oh, wow. Can't long draw it, but can you see the firestar is like rainbow. It's like a rainbow, like it's all different. That's not doing it justice, but the firestar is like all different colors. I like this. Wow. And then this, last but not least, oh, this is probably the scratchy one. So this is from Fossil Fibers. Look how cool the tag is, right? This is the Icelandic top, Brick Street, 4 ounces. I've never spun with Icelandic, so that's one thing that's cool. I always love spinning with new to me fibers. I don't know if you can, I think you'd have to feel it. I'm not going to lie, when she said that she thought that it was scratchy, I thought that it was felted. When I first pulled it out, touching it, I thought it was felted, but pulling it apart, it is not felted. So maybe that's just the characteristic of Icelandic. I mean, that's interesting. I'm thinking like some mittens. It is scratch. You wouldn't want this against your skin. Yeah, nope. I'm thinking mittens. What do you guys think of Icelandic? Have any of you spun with it? The colors are dreamy though. Look at those. I don't know. Maybe it's felted a hair. I mean, not bad, but I'm trying to draft it and it's, yeah, definitely doable though. Just take it out and pre-draft it. Wow, thanks, Tammy. That was fun to open. I'm glad I saved it. That's all for the fiber stuff, guys. Some miscellaneous stuff. Dan had a try last weekend. He placed 9th overall, second in his age group. Clinny Chevy trip is next week. I'm super looking forward to that. We're going floating in Michigan. Have any of you floated down the Muskegon River? It is a blast. For those of you who don't know, Clint is my best friend from the time we were little. Well, hold on, I'll show you. The OGs are probably sick of seeing this picture, but first day, I mean, our moms were pregnant together, but look how cute we are. We have been best friends forever, and we have a Clinny Chevy trip every year. It is so good for my mental health, and I'm just really looking forward to it. And then Michigan Fiber Festival. Michigan Fiber Festival's in August. We will be camping there. I've already talked to some of you and know that I will be seeing you. I'm looking forward to it. I was bummed that we missed Hoosier Hills, obviously, but there's always next year. I'm excited to get some fiber love in at Allegan. Thank you, everyone, for being here and watching, and all your kind words for, thinking about me because I haven't been around and sending me messages, and it's really cool, and thank you. And I definitely feel the love, as does Mama Jean. I guess that's it. Until we meet again, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that happy horse shit, and we'll catch you on the flip side.